Ted says, disappointing today, but all is not lost. We will still finish top 4, no doubt. In the lads' view, after the emotions of the PSG game, how tough is it to regain that motivation for the next game?
Well, I think after you get a result like that, I think it's an awful lot harder if you go into PSG and you got beat 3-0 or whatever and you're knocked out of the Champions League. Yeah, it's a bit tougher then on you to be able to get yourself back into the frame of mind to play a big game like today. I think when you get a result like the PSG one, yes, it takes a lot out of your emotion, but you're in a far better state to come into the game because you're buzzing, you're high, you're on a confidence boost. Everything about it is saying we want another game then, you know. So it's not an excuse to say, oh no, the PSG is taking too much out of them.
I like this email from Kay Lawrence. A ridiculous result as we were the best side by far, but let's be positive, we are only 3 points behind the team in third place, a position we would have craved a couple of months ago. True that, Danny, isn't it?
That's some perspective right there. I think she's right. You know, we look back and there's been some dark days there back end of last year, and Ollie's brought the sunshine back. So you know, you're going to lose a game. You are. We're losing it in the right spirit. I think we've that was evident today. So you know, onwards and upwards.
I'm going to burst into a bit of song there. Ollie's brought the sunshine back. That you're going to go into one. David in New Jersey says, a strong showing by everyone, but it just didn't go in the net for us today. The only criticism I would have is that we were too weak in the midfield. Özil and Xhaka had too much freedom, but this is something Ollie can learn from after film review. Would love to hear from the guys about our midfield play. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Our midfield play?
He's got a point. He's got a point there, I think. We did concede a lot of space, I thought, to Arsenal. They are playing at home. You'd expect them to have a fair bit of possession in that particular area. But I thought our lads worked really hard in the midfield. You know, I think Fred put in another decent shift. I think Matic at the back does what he does. And Pogba, yeah, we know we can expect a little bit more from him. It wasn't that he had a bad game or anything like that, but you just know he can give that little bit more. But as I said, if you get a goal earlier on, it changes everything for the players on the pitch then as well, really. But overall, I think, you know, no, we performed well, and that includes midfield.
Okay, back to the lines now. Just in Salford, Gaff is on the line. Hi, Gaff. How are you this evening?
Good evening, guys. You right?
Evening, Gaff.
Evening.
You're right, mate. Yeah, basically a few points. I'm really quite disappointed today. I thought the Arsenal were there for the taking. See, the first 20 minutes, I think half of all the team was asleep, apart from Lukaku. Rashford was making his, sprints like he usually does. But every time Rashford missed something, it's like his confidence, so it wasn't going to go for him. For me, I would have made a few tweaks, just after half time. I would have run McTominay on. I thought he had a great game in the week. Even could have swapped him with Fred, because they both put a shift in when it comes to PSG. So Fred, for me, played fantastic today, but could have been subbed for someone else, a bit more freshness. But yeah, I don't think it was a penalty. I think we could have had a penalty as well. Koscielny dived like a keeper. So yeah, it could have gone our way, but I think for the first 20 minutes, it wasn't like the United that we've been seeing for the past 10 games. We weren't at it, like from the start. So, but yeah, loving to have my team back. Because, David Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, it wasn't just... but having Ollie there, Sir Alex in the background, and, it's back to love United. So, but yeah, today I just think we could have took Arsenal. Would have taken, but it wasn't to be. But like the old Sir Alex Ferguson teams, we have one blip, and so hopefully we won't lose now till the end of the season. So we should be third.
Thank you, Gaff, for your points this evening. His point about Fred there, I tell you what, Fred is going to be one tired man this week. He's not played a large part of the season. To come into those two games and put on a performance like he has is an achievement. Yeah,
it is indeed. You know what I mean? He's wanted to get this opportunity. He talked about it before. You've come to Manchester United, you want to play football there. And, now he's got his opportunity. He wants to really show Ollie what he can do. So you can't show him everything on the training pitch. You've got to show it when it counts. And as we all have said, in the PSG game and in today's game, he's acquitted himself really well. So you can trust him when you put him in there. And I think from that point of view, Ollie will be pleased with it.
And Gaff calling for McTominay. Maybe he should have been brought on halfway through the second half. What's your thoughts on that, Danny?
I think McTominay's done himself a lot of favours in his last few performances. He was thrown against Liverpool and there was a bit of scepticism from one or two people that should he be thrown in, and I thought he equipped himself very well. The PSG game he was very good, and every game in between it, so I think he was due a rest. He probably could have come on it and made some form of difference in the game today, but that's not to say that possibly I would have swapped him when Matic came off. But at that stage in the game, we're trying to go and get something out of it. So, hence why we brought a forward on for Matic to try and get something out of the game.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you think about it, Fred is a little bit more creative, I think, than McTominay would be. McTominay's more of a more solid guy in there who will just, as you say, more the Matic job. Whereas we're looking to get a goal. Yeah. So you're better off with Fred out there than McTominay.
Point I wanted to make as well, Ollie bringing on Mason Greenwood with 10 minutes to go. It's nice to see that 2 goals down, he's bringing on that attacking option.
It takes courage, I think, to play young players. Obviously, the history of this football club is to give young players the opportunity, and you only see the best out of young players, or whether they can cope when you throw them in sometimes at the deep end. Marcus was thrown in the Europa League and he scored 2. Similarly, he went in against Arsenal a few days later and scored another 2, and he burst onto the scene. And this was an opportunity for Mason, these last 2 games, to get a feel of it, to understand what it's like to play at the top. And he'll learn from that. It's not just about what happens today, it's about the bigger picture of how you develop footballers alongside that. And if you don't put them on the pitch, you'll never know.
Okay, let's have a little look at your tweets then. It was a good performance today. Were some good chances, a little bad luck, but they pushed to the end and did not give up. United will bounce back. Thank you, Michael, for that. This was bound to happen. We miss on all our huge chances, deserve a win, but this is football. They score on a rare mistake from our goalie and a dive. Good thing this didn't happen in an important knockout game. And you can't win them all, and we've won a lot recently. Thank you, Michael. That was a good point. Back down to earth with a bump. No bad thing. You have to learn from defeats together with the winning. I think that is it. So, generally a positive.
All very sensible tweets, I must admit. They're absolutely spot on, but it just shows you the United supporters are knowledgeable about the game, they're knowledgeable about their team as well, and those tweets were absolutely spot on.
Let's get some reaction from the Emirates now. Ashley Young is with Stuart Gardner.
Actually, we probably created more chances today than we did when we won here in January, and maybe even last season as well. So you're scratching your head a little bit about the scoreline in the end. Yeah, it's disappointing. I think when you come to a place like Emirates and you create that many chances, you should go on and win the game. And for us, I think it's disappointing with even when they got the first goal. We create chances to go on and win the game, and on another day we put them in the back of the net, and we go home celebrating them with 3 points. But today it's disappointing, and I think even a penalty was harsh. For me, in my eyes, it's never been a penalty, but it's down to the referee to make that decision. I suppose the first goals are important in these games, and obviously the sort of swerving shot, but before that, Ron put one against the crossbar early on. It's fine margins, isn't it? Yeah, well, I think the crossbar, the post, their keepers made saves. It's, on another day, like I say, we come in at half time 2 or 3-0 up, and it wasn't meant to be, and like I say, it's disappointing today. Just one of those things, really. Just one of those things you have to put down to experience and move on, because you can't win every game, even though you've been doing that pretty much since Ollie took over. Yeah, of course. Like I say, it's obviously disappointing. We didn't want to obviously end the run here. We wanted to continue winning. Like I say, on a different day, when you have that many chances, you go and win the game. You come in comfortably 2 or 3-0 up, and the second half's much easier. But even in the second half, when we went out, we created chances, and on another day we score them and we go away with 3 points. When you look at the situation now, 8 games to go, Arsenal have got the 4th place at the moment. But do you think it's going to go down to the wire between Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, United? Yeah, of course it is. I think there's so many points to pick up with so many games left. For me, obviously, if you talk back in October, if we was going to be fighting for 4th place, we were taking that was where it was. But for me, on personal level and everyone in there, I think the club the size of United should be higher up the league, and
that's where I see it. But right now, obviously, we're talking about finishing in the top 4, and we're going to do everything we can to do that.
Just a word about what happened with the fan coming on as well. We saw what the terrible thing at Villa, obviously, and then today, fan came on towards Chris Smalling. I mean, what was your view of it?
To be honest, it's something that the FA, the Premier League of FIFA have got to sort out. It's the third incident now. I don't know what they're going to do. Is it going to take one of the people that gets on the pitch to attack someone, or have something in their arm, or pull something on one of the players? It's getting to a point where players are feeling vulnerable on the pitch, and whether it's extra stewarding or whatever they need to do, something's got to be done about it, because you can't have 3 fans on the pitch, and like I say, getting that close to players. What if it is that something does happen? You saw the incident earlier. He could have broke Jack Grealish's jaw, and then what happens?
Thanks for speaking to us.
Don't really get what you deserve. I don't think it's a penalty either, but it's a soft one. But that's the decision he made. We created enough, but then the last 20 minutes we didn't have the real surge and urgency, or not urgency, but the quality and in the last little bits, because we maybe made the decision too quick.
Yeah, frustrating when the penalty was given, because you're obviously on top of that point, and it didn't seem a lot in it, in fairness.
No, I don't think it's a penalty. There's no contact with the legs. They run into each other, but that's not enough for a pen. But that period we find Paul through the middle. We created chances for Rom and Rashi, and just one of those days that you have to say. I don't think we deserved to lose, but we didn't. Well, when you don't score, you don't deserve to win either.
Did you always feel as if you'd got one though, you may well go on to get another, the way things were going here?
Definitely. I'm so pleased with the approach play, some counter attacks, some the link play at times when we played 1 and 2 touch quickly on the floor, up, back, through, some great chances, and the one just before half time when Chaka blocks Marcus there. That's a fantastic attack.
I mean, you've had a brilliant run, obviously. When you arrived, I guess you would have taken this situation, not losing a game until mid-March.
Yeah, 3 points behind third position. I don't think we would have said no thanks. We would have said, yeah, we'll have that. 8 games to go, and we'll give it a right go the last 8 games.
Hi, were you disturbed at all by the fact the fan came on towards Chris Smalling? It obviously happened in the Aston Villa game earlier. Yeah. Was that a concern?
To be honest, I didn't see it happening. Just like over there. So it's one of those things that shouldn't happen, and hopefully it won't happen again.
Thanks for speaking to us. I appreciate it. Cheers.
Thoughts of Ashley Young there. Just one tweet before we go. I'm not sad about the performance on another day. Could easily have scored 2 or 3 at least. Must bounce back quickly. Points will be dropped in the top 4 fight by all the contenders. Nearly spat that out. We'll see you in a minute for Matchday Review. Hello and welcome to Matchday Review. I am delighted to say I am joined by Kevin Moran and Danny Webber. I think it's fair to say, guys, it just did not go our way today.
No, it certainly didn't. We were expecting so much on the back of the great result in midweek, and we knew the confidence was high among all the lads going into the game as well. And I thought they performed extremely well. I really did. I thought they took the game to Arsenal, especially after the first 5-10 minutes when I thought Arsenal dominated. But after that, we created better chances. We should have been ahead before they scored, and we still created more chances after that. We could easily have scored 4 or 5 goals here.
Will Ollie be pleased with the performance, not necessarily the result, obviously?
I think he will be. I think he'll be happy with the way his lads have applied themselves to the game. What I like is that there's no excuses. Listening to interviews after the game and even before the game, there's no allowance for complacency. The result didn't go our way, that's fair enough, but performance-wise, I think he'll be happy with the way the lads set about the business.
Talk us through their 2 goals, Kevin. The first goal, of course, it took a swerve, but De Gea maybe... Yeah,
De Gea just started off on the wrong side. His initial reaction was to go to his left, which he did, and then all of a sudden he saw the ball going the other way, and then it swerved a bit more, and he just couldn't get back on track. He'll be very disappointed. You could see him after saying it swerved, but his first movement was wrong, and he doesn't usually get that wrong. And from that point of view, it was disappointing. The second goal was a penalty. It was a very soft penalty. That's how it was described as. He got the slightest of touches, by Fred coming back into the box, and you can tell Fred was trying to stay out of it, but he went down very quickly for the penalty, and you don't blame him for doing that. But it's something that you've got to watch the defender. You just can't go near forwards because they go down so quickly.
Okay, thanks guys. Let's hear the thoughts then of Stuart Gardner and Paddy Crerand at the Emirates.
First Premier League defeat under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for Manchester United. They'll play a lot worse than this and win games. They had some great opportunities in the first half. Romelu Lukaku hitting the bar when he may have scored from Shaw's wonderful cross. United regretted that because Xhaka, with a wickedly swerving effort from 25 yards that deceived De Gea for 1-0. Fred then hit the woodwork. United couldn't find a way past Leno, who also kept at an effort from Lukaku at the end of the first half and in the second half. Arsenal wrapped up the victory. Fred rather harshly adjudged to have fouled Lacazette. Aubameyang scored with a penalty straight down the middle. United had so much possession, so much good play, so many good opportunities, good situations, but they simply could not score. And Arsenal get the win.
Very, very fortunate Arsenal, Stuart, as you said earlier. A deflection and a penalty. For me, it was never a penalty. People would say I'd say that anyway. But when you see that in television, that is not a penalty. They gave it their all, United. Unfortunately, somewhere along the way, you've got to lose a game. They've lost this one, but I think a little bit unfairly at times.
And Arsenal move into the top 4. It's going to go all the way down to the wire.
It's going to go all the way, but there's a long way to go yet, so there's plenty of games left for United to redeem this result.
Yeah, scoreline doesn't really tell the story, but it's finished. Arsenal 2, United 0.
Yes, and let's see how that result affects the table. It's disappointing, isn't it? Because the other results around us this weekend seem to have gone our way. The Spurs dropping points yesterday, and Chelsea, of course, today. But that's Arsenal in the top 4, in the 4th position. But everything will change in the next few weeks, surely, Kevin.
There's 8 games to go, and to be honest with you, if you think of looking at the table there, you'd have to say Arsenal and Manchester United are favourites to finish in the top 4 because Spurs are going through a bad spell at the moment. You're just going to say, how are they going to turn that around? They're still involved in the Champions League, so there's a lot on their plate. I don't think they have a bigger squad as well, certainly not as United have, or possibly Arsenal. And for that reason, they're the ones that will be looking over their shoulders, thinking from a position of a couple of months ago when they were almost guaranteed top 4 position. They'll be worried about that now.
If you were to put your bets on, Danny, would you bet on it being City, Liverpool, Arsenal and United? Not necessarily in that order, but in the top 4?
I would do, yeah. I would. I think, as Kevin quite rightly said there, Tottenham haven't been in the best form of late. They've pulled a few results in and around it, but they've not. They're the ones on the slide, and the other teams are, we're climbing. So, with regards to this weekend, I think Arsenal are the only winners of the lot. If you're looking from 3rd to 6th, they're the winners out of it all. They've got 3 points, and the rest of them got 1 or none. So, but on a whole, I do think, I think United have got the squad and the momentum, and I think Arsenal as well will do the same.